Okay. We're 20 seconds away, actually. Ten. You ready? Welcome to CVCA Royals Football, brought to you through the generosity of Friends of Royals Football. We'd also like to acknowledge the Week 7 Royals Power Meal sponsor, McDonald's, on Steele's Corner Road in Stowe, for their ongoing support of CVCA football and the Power Meal program. The regular season is come and gone, and it's time for OHSAA playoff football, and 13 is the lucky number, as the Royals are a 13 seed in Region 13 of Ohio's Division 4. CVCA is home tonight in the play-in round, hosting Edgewood High School, the Warriors from Ashtabula, the 20th seed out of the Chagrin Valley Conference. My name is Tim Nichols, and I'll be bringing you all the action this evening. A special hello to our new friends tuning in from Ashtabula County. You're joining thousands of Royals fans who've tuned in this season to Royals football on the live stream on Boxcast. And tonight's live stream is again available across multiple platforms. We're glad you found us. As always, the live stream is being simulcast on the CVCA Athletics Facebook page, the CVCA Boosters YouTube page, and the native Boxcast platforms, either in a browser, on your mobile phone, or through the Boxcast TV apps within the Apple TV, Roku, or Amazon Fire systems. What's at stake tonight? Well, it's playoff football in Region 13 in Ohio's Division 4. With COVID-19 impacting all aspects of our lives, the OHSAA changed things up in 2020. The standard regular season was shortened to just 6 games, and unlike past years when just the top 8 teams advanced to the playoffs in each region, this year every team in Ohio was allowed to opt in to the playoffs, making it more of a tournament structure. 648 of Ohio's 709 teams in high school football did opt in, including 24 teams here in Region 13. Playoff Week 1 will see the top 8 seeds with a bye, and a play-in game for teams seeded 9 through 24 in the region. For teams that play tonight, it will take 5 victories to secure a region championship and 7 wins in a row to claim a state championship. CVCA comes into tonight's game as the 13th seed, and Edgewood is seeded 20th. It's the second straight year that CVCA will have hosted a home playoff game. The Royals victorious last year in the opening round game against Salem by a score of 40-8. The winner of tonight's game will advance to play the Perry Pirates, who are seeded 4th in the region. And in a unique twist of the 2020 season, the OHSAA is allowing teams that are eliminated from the playoffs to schedule additional regular season games through November 14th, up to a maximum of 10 regular season games. So no matter what happens tonight, both these teams will have opportunities to play next week and beyond. Edgewood actually already has 3 additional games scheduled, including a game next Friday night on the road against Lakeside, whereas CVCA has made no announcements yet about any future contests. If CVCA does win tonight, it will be the 3rd straight year that the Royals and Perry meet up in the playoffs. If Edgewood advances, they'll move on to a rematch with their Chagrin Valley Conference rival. Perry shut out the Warriors on opening night back in August by a score of 50-0. The Royals have spent much of the last month lighting up scoreboards, averaging nearly 52 points a game over a 4-game winning streak. Earlier this week, Cleveland.com referred to CVCA as a potential bracket buster. But before we look ahead, let's take a few moments and look back at the first 5 games of the regular season, a season that started with back-to-back hard-luck losses at Fairless on the road and also on the road at Northwest. But the rally cry for the season and for Team 25 all year has been, why not us? And they started out that way at Fairless on opening night. It was a miserable night on opening night. It was great to have football back, but that first Friday night of the season, the Royals endured 3 different lightning delays on the road at Fairless in a game that started late, a little bit after 8:20 in the evening, and after the 3rd and final lightning delay, and 3 trips up the big hill at Fairless to the buses and then back down the big hill, the Royals were on the short end of a score in a game that finished at 12:30 in the morning. 0-1 was the record for the Royals as they came home humbled, and they got ready for a trip down to Northwest. Northwest has been the cream of the crop in the Pac-7 and in Region 13. They are the number 1 seed, undefeated, and they proved why on that night in Week 2 at Northwest. Jordan Mick and his brother Jaden and the rest of the Northwest Indians are having a season to remember. Undefeated through the first 6 games of the year and setting all kinds of records. But it was a close game. The Royals actually led at halftime by a score of 18-14 and then continued to play close football into the fourth quarter with the ball at midfield in the fourth quarter halfway through, just down 3 points. An unfortunate holding penalty stopped the drive. They punted away. And then Northwest came down the field and scored and put the game away in the last 4 minutes, extending the lead to 10, and then in the last minute, tacking on one final touchdown and defeating the Royals by a total of 16 points in Week 2. So 0-2 were the Royals, and they had to reassess things. But they certainly did that. They went on the road the next week and got win number 1, actually at home in Week 3 against Orville, putting up big numbers, touchdowns galore. In fact, the first 9 times they touched the football against Orville, they scored. That continued on for weeks to come after that with a trip down to Tuslaw and then home games against Loudonville and then last week against Manchester. That victory against Loudonville led into the rivalry, easy for me to say, the rivalry week game against Manchester last week in Week 6, and the Royals exercised years of frustration against their rivals with a big 48-7 victory. Senior quarterback Michael Bevington accounted for 5 touchdowns last week, 4 on the ground and another through the air. Here's Bevington finding junior Brennan Darr in the end zone. From the 33. Bevington looks to throw, drops, looks deep, throws to the end zone. He's got a man out there. Touchdown! 33 yards on the touchdown pass. Number 16 for CVCA. That's Brennan Darr with another reception for the Royals. They put 6 more points up on the board. That made the score 33-7, and here's Bevington finishing off the night with another long touchdown against Manchester. 30, 25-20. Will he make it to the end zone? 10-5, touchdown! 69 yards for Michael Bevington. Another 50-plus yard touchdown run for the CVCA senior quarterback. His second long touchdown run of the night, his 4th of the evening, I believe, if I'm keeping score correctly. And Bevington is into the end zone again. That was Bevington's 14th rushing touchdown on the season, and he's piled up 915 yards on the ground this year through the first 6 games. But he's just as lethal through the air. The all-time leader in passing yardage, Bevington, has put up 1,034 yards through the air in 6 games this year, including 11 touchdown passes against just 4 interceptions. Part of the reason for the great offensive numbers may be what is arguably one of the best offensive lines in school history. Anchored by seniors Jack Bova and J.T. Nichols on either side of the line, that offensive line has gelled with 2020 newcomers Tony Collins, Joey Johnson, and David Glover as well. And that has produced another major running threat in sophomore Kyle Snyder, who has 812 yards from scrimmage on the ground himself this year to go with 13 touchdowns of his own. 6 Royals receivers have caught touchdown passes, including Darr with 4, David Lewis, the long threat, with 3, and 1 each for Brant Simmons, freshman Ty Bova, Eli Dykandrew, and Snyder himself with an initial 1. Add it all up, and Dan Larlam's offense has been a nightmare for opposing defenses. The task of stopping the potent CVC offense tonight will fall upon Edgewood head coach John Butchko and his defensive unit. The Warriors are a bunch of ball hawks with 20 takeaways in just 6 regular season games this year. They've picked off 8 passes and recovered 12 fumbles in 2020, an average of 3.3 takeaways a game. The Warriors have traveled to Cuyahoga Falls tonight from Ashtabula County, and specifically from Ashtabula Township. Edgewood High School is located in the southeast section of the township, and it's the only high school in the Buckeye local school district. The Warriors bring a 2-4 record into tonight's game as they made the 75-mile drive across I-90 and south on I-271 and Route 8 to get to CVCA, but they're used to some long drives. Edgewood is a member, as we said before, of the Chagrin Valley Conference, as you can see on the screen. It's a conglomeration of 22 schools across 4 counties, split across 3 divisions, the Chagrin, the Metro, and the Valley divisions. The Warriors just joined the CVC at the start of the 2019 school year, so it's their second year in the CVC, and as you can see, they are the league's most easternmost team. The Warriors play in the Chagrin Division, which includes Lakeside, Geneva, Harvey, and West Cuyahoga, as well as some more familiar names to Royals fans in Chagrin Falls, Orange, and Powerhouse Perry, whom the Royals have faced in the playoffs the last 2 seasons. Royals fans may also be familiar with new CVC member Crestwood, with whom the Royals had a recent home-and-home series in 2017 and 2018. The Red Devils play in the CVC's Valley Division, which is headlined by defending Ohio Division V state champion Kirtland, which has 2 Division I wins to their credit this season over Shaker Heights and Solon, and also holds the nation's 3rd longest winning streak at 35 games. So don't be fooled by that 2-4 record that Edgewood brings into tonight's game or their 20th seed. There's some really, really good football being played in the Chagrin Valley Conference. Edgewood is quarterbacked by junior number 7, Zach Winchell, and tonight will be his 20th career start. He's one of the best signal callers in Ashtabula County and continues to climb up both the Edgewood and the Ashtabula County career record books. Winchell has thrown for more than 3,400 yards to date in his career, and that leaves him about 1,200 yards short of the all-time Ashtabula County record set in 1990 by Sean Freeman, who was a signal caller at Pymatuning Valley. It's a record that's well within reach with more than a year to go in young Zach Winchell's career in high school. Winchell likes to distribute the ball around, but his go-to target is 6'3", 215-pound junior, number 11, Isaiah Harris. Harris has caught 19 balls this season and averages nearly 25 yards per reception. He might be even better, in fact, on defense, where he's attracting both FBS and FCS interest as a safety. Seniors Jacob Bell, number 27, and Brian Bisbee, number 21, also have catches, 19 catches each, that is, but Bell's more of a possession receiver, and Bisbee is a receiving outlet out of the backfield. And you may have just heard over the loudspeaker that Edgewood is entering the stadium. The Warriors. We mentioned Brian Bisbee. Bisbee had a 5 rushing touchdown performance in a game in Week 3 against Grand Valley, so he knows how to find the end zone. 6-foot junior, number 6, Christian Curry, is a 4th option. He has 17 catches of his own, 3 of those for touchdowns. The Warriors are coached by John Butchko, a 2000 graduate of Canton Central Catholic High School. Butchko is a 4-year letter winner with the Hilltoppers of Division II West Liberty University, which is located in the panhandle of West Virginia. His first head coaching job was with Morrill Ridgedale High School in Marion County back in 2007, where he was the head coach for 3 seasons. He's also coached as an assistant for 3 years at his alma mater at Canton Central Catholic, and he spent 4 years helping lead the turnaround at Sandy Valley from 2014 to 2018 as the Cardinals' offensive coordinator. Butchko was instrumental in the development of senior quarterback Cameron Blair, who recently became Stark County's all-time leading passer. So developing quarterbacks is no strange thing to head coach John Butchko. Before settling in at West Liberty University as an undergrad, Butchko spent the 2001 season at Malone University, where he was a teammate of CVC assistant coach Paul McLevich. So small world. And if we go into the really far way back machine, in 1997 at Central Catholic, Butchko competed in a game against a Walsh Jesuit team that was quarterbacked by some youngster named Dan Larlam, head coach now of CVCA. So fast forward 23 years, and it's Butchko's Warriors against Dan Larlam's CVCA Royals tonight, playing for a chance to advance in the OHSAA Division IV playoffs. Tonight's matchup is the first ever meeting between the two teams. The Royals are 3-6 all-time against schools from the Chagrin Valley Conference. All-time in the playoffs, CVCA is 1 win. That was last year against Salem, against 8 losses. The lone victory coming a year ago, 40-8 against those Salem high school football players. For Edgewood, this is their first playoff appearance since 2012. A reminder tonight, make sure to follow us on Twitter, especially if you are watching from the opposing side. We're again glad that you're here.
Welcome to Royal Stadium tonight.
Our Twitter handle is at CVCA Livestream, and we'll do our best to interact with you and follow your tweets during the broadcast tonight. Now we're going to pause for a moment of prayer, followed by our national anthem.
Heavenly Father, we give you great thanks for the wonderful gift of tonight. We thank you for this season, the opportunity to play football. We know that all good things come from you. And we want to honor you with what happens here tonight. God, you've given us the gifts, the talents, the breath in our lungs, and so we pause just to say thank you. It's for you that we play tonight. In Christ's name, amen.
Our national anthem performed by the CVCA Royals Marching Band.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Saturday night, and that means playoff football in Northeast Ohio. And there's no better place to be than Royal Stadium. Thank you for joining us for this week 1 of the Royals playoff season and the second ever playoff football game here at Royal Stadium. Board of Education, the President, Athletic
CVCA Public Address Announcer L.T. Newland firing up the crowd as we get ready for football here on Saturday night, October the 10th. The Royals of CVCA, the home team, against the Edgewood High School Warriors. It's an unseasonably warm night for early to mid-October. Great weather the last few days here in Northeast Ohio. And ladies and gentlemen, here come the Royals. As we were saying, the weather is perfect for football, at least as we start this game. The sun has given way to overcast weather this evening. There was a forecast for a chance of rain in the second half and some spotty thunder showers or thunderstorms, but a quick look at the weather.com app seems to indicate that we may be in good shape to get this entire game in without any type of precipitation. So that would be fantastic. The Royals injury report: senior wide receiver James Tisello is questionable, again with a lower body injury. And sophomore running back Owen Edwards is out for the season with a knee injury suffered in week 2. The clock is ticking down, 40 seconds to go before we get set to kick this game off. Again, we're thrilled that you're here tonight. A shout out again to McDonald's in Stowe as this week's Royals Power Meal sponsor. McDonald's in Stowe, one of a number of restaurants that keep the Royals fed on the night before their games. This week, the Power Meal was on Friday. Normally, those Power Meals are on Thursday. If you're looking for a quick bite to eat, head on down to McDonald's in Stowe and get that bite to eat. The teams have gathered on the field. We're getting ready for football. The Royals are set to receive. Kicking off tonight for Edgewood is senior Nick Welty. The Royals have 10 men up on the line of scrimmage, so typically they have 2 men back, but it looks like they expect perhaps an onside kick to open this game from the Edgewood Warriors. Welty runs up, and it is an onside kick. The Royals jump on it. Or do they? Edgewood has pointed that they have it. We wait for a signal. And the Warriors do have it. So Edgewood with the first big break of the game. If you've been watching Royals football all year, you know that the Royals employ that same strategy. The Royals have actually onside kicked it 18 times this season. But this time it comes back to bite them. So Edgewood will start out the game on offense. Edgewood is quarterbacked by Zach Winchell. The tailback is Brian Bisbee. And they'll go empty. As you'll see a lot tonight, Edgewood likes to pass the ball. Winchell passes, far side. It's complete. Not a lot of a gain, though, as the wide receiver tried to cut back to the inside. He might have picked up 1 yard. Isaiah Harris on that catch. We talked about him in the pregame show. Far fewer than the 25 yards he typically picks up when he catches the ball. This time it's a fake handoff, run up the middle. Bisbee has it. And Bisbee is bottled up at the line of scrimmage. He might have lost a yard. So quickly it's 3rd down and 1. There's a name you just heard from the PA announcer, Kyle Snyder. Snyder, the sophomore for CVCA. A menace on offense. He's more of a menace on defense from that linebacker position, disrupting the opponent's offense week in and week out. 3rd down and 10. Winchell will drop back to pass. The southpaw looks, throws. It's complete across the 45-yard line. It's good enough for a first down. Down to the 31-yard line. Number 11 on that catch. That's Isaiah Harris again. So Edgewood with the first down of the game. They officially spotted at the 32-yard line. Winchell again has trips wide to the far side. Now man comes in motion and they fake the handoff. He's going to look to throw. Flushed out to his right. Looks and now lofts it toward the end zone. He's got a man out there wide open. Waiting for the signal. It's caught for a touchdown. And Edgewood, the Warriors, strike first. Matt Anick, the senior 6-foot wide receiver, got behind the secondary, and we talked about it. Zach Winchell is a good quarterback. In fact, he's one of the best in Ashtabula County history, and he found his wide receiver, Anick, out there in the end zone for the first points of the game. Edgewood is up 6-0. So Welty comes in to kick. The holder is Tony Hall. Hall waits. The snap is down. The kick is up. And it's good. So the Warriors waste no time getting on the board here in Cuyahoga Falls. 10:29 to go in the first quarter. And CVCA trails 7-0. If you're watching from Ashtabula County, you're pleased right now, and you've seen exactly what you come to expect. And if you're watching from anywhere else, the 26 states and 5 countries that have tuned in this year on Royals football, you know the Royals have not been behind a lot in the last 4 weeks. So if CVCA did not have their attention fully on Edgewood to start this game, they do now. And they're expecting another onside kick. Just 1 man back for CVCA, 10 men within 10 yards of the football. Nick Welty again to kick off. Edgewood again bunched up around the football, which is set right there on the 40-yard line. Whistle blows. Edgewood spreads out, but it is an onside kick again, and Royals better recover it. It bounces, and it is out of bounds. So no one recovers, but the Royals will survive that onside kick. A precarious situation, but they'll get it first down and 10 yards to go just across midfield. And now we'll see Michael Bevington, the heart and soul of the CVCA offense, a third-year starter at quarterback, 4-year letterman when this year is done for CVCA. The Royals will begin first down and 10 from the Warriors' 49-yard line. Bevington and the Royals in a bunch formation. Out of the shotgun. The handoff is to Kyle Snyder, and Snyder is across the 40-yard line. He picks up 10 yards, enough for a first down, down to the 39-yard line. This time Bevington has two receivers far side, single receiver near side, man in motion. Snyder will get it again. He's across the 35, bashes his way forward across the 30, down to the 28-yard line. A pickup of 11 more yards.
Snyder only carried for the Royals. That's good for another Royals. First down.
The 1-2 punch of Michael Bevington and Kyle Snyder on the ground. So far it's been Snyder on the first two carries, and the Royals have first down and 10 from the 28-yard line. This time Bevington again out of the shotgun. Snyder to his left. Bevington will look to throw. It's complete, but great play on defense by Isaiah Harris. The Royals will lose a couple of yards. Eli Dykandrew was the recipient of that pass, but Harris showing why he is being looked at by several schools in FBS and FCS was ready for that one. Officially, it's a loss of 4 yards, so it's second down and 14 yards to go. The Royals have been pushed back to the 32-yard line. Snyder with the ball. Slips a tackle. 30, 25, down across the 20-yard line. He picks up about 10, maybe 11. It'll be third down and short for CVCA. They spot it on the 20-yard line, so it's third down and 2. Early first quarter action. Edgewood struck first. They lead it 7-0. CVCA's first possession. They've moved into the red zone, but they have a third down and 2 yards to go. Bevington will hand to Snyder again. And Snyder's across the 20, 15, 10, still going 5, fumbles into the end zone, and Edgewood falls on it. So the Royals' drive goes awry, and Edgewood has their 21st takeaway of the season, their 13th fumble recovery. A huge break for the underdog Warriors, who already lead it 7-0. The touchback will bring the ball out to the 20-yard line. The Royals defense will have to stiffen here, and Edgewood would love to take advantage of a golden opportunity. Winchell comes back out. Empty backfield for the junior quarterback. He'll look to throw it. Pumps. Thinks again, throws deep, and it is intercepted by CVCA. There's a return down to the 30, 25, 20, and the Royals have it right back on the 15-yard line. Eli Dykandrew on the interception, playing center field. And Winchell will wish he had that one back. So back-to-back turnovers on successive plays, and CVCA is in business. There may have been a flag down on that play. It looks like they're marching the ball back to about the 27, 28-yard line. I did not see a signal from the referees, but Dykandrew did return that ball down toward the 15. Looks like a 10-yard penalty, perhaps from the spot of the foul. It was a block in the back, so first and 10 CVCA from the 26 officially. And we've got a whistle. And the Warriors and Coach Butchko are going to call timeout. For Edgewood, that is their first timeout of the first half, and we've got a stoppage in play. With a moment to catch our breath after a busy first 3.5, almost 4 minutes of this ball game, we want to say thank you once again to Friends of Royals Football, the parent organization for CVCA, for helping to bring these broadcasts to you this year. There have been several generous donors who have helped get us on the air, and if you are interested in helping us continue, certainly we would be glad to hear from you. But Friends of Royals Football, our gratitude is immense for the folks that have helped us bring these plays and these action to you during this 2020 football season. So here we are again. The Royals have it first down and 10 from the Edgewood 26-yard line. Bevington in the backfield, empty backfield, bunch formation once again. Bevington rolls to his right, looking, throws. It's complete across the 20 down to the 15. Out of bounds. Kyle Snyder has it at the 14-yard line. It's a pickup of 12 yards for Snyder out of the backfield. First down and 10. This time it's trips far side, single receiver. Near side, that's Brennan Darr, 16 on the near side. Darr in motion. And it's a handoff to Brennan Darr. He's trying to get the corner. Flag is down. And that play was blown up by the Edgewood Warriors, and the Royals are going to pay for what appears to be another block in the back. It is a hold on CVCA. Another mistake by the Royals offense. Edgewood coach John Butchko said his defense had to play much, much better than they have played at any point in this season to have a chance tonight. So far, they're doing just that by doing what's normal for them, taking the ball away, and their offense being opportunistic after that onside kick. The Royals, on the other hand, have had the mistakes that have hampered them in the early going. Offensive line pushing forward this time as Michael Bevington keeps it right up the middle. Looks like he gets back most of the 10 yards on the penalty.
Senior Michael Bevington. Brought down by 21, Ryan Bisbee.
Bevington picks up about 10 yards back to the original line of scrimmage. It's second down and 10. He'll keep it again, following his blockers. Bevington across the 5 into the end zone. Touchdown! Michael Bevington, his 15th rushing touchdown of the season. And the Royals are on the board. Bryce Keitlinger in to kick the extra point for CVCA. Joey Lehner, his trusty holder. Kyle Snyder is the long snapper. The snap's down. Keitlinger puts a boot into it, and it splits the uprights. His 29th point after touchdown this season. And the Royals have drawn even. 7 minutes and 4 seconds to go here in the first quarter. The scores: CVCA 7 and Edgewood 7. Michael Bevington doing what he does best. Another rushing touchdown for the CVCA senior quarterback. Not only is he the all-time passing yardage leader for CVCA, Bevington is moving up the charts. He's had 2 top 20 all-time rushing performances for the Royals this season. And he adds another touchdown score on the ground to his totals for 2020. So after the first 2 onside kick attempts by Edgewood, the Royals have an opportunity, and interestingly, Edgewood sends 2 men back. That's Christian Curry, number 6, and Brian Bisbee. They will set up on the 25-yard line, so they've probably watched some tape as well. Keitlinger does not kick it. It's a different kicker. Some more trickeration by CVCA, but this one bounces right into the hands of number 20 for the Edgewood Warriors. That's Hunter Cusano.
Number 20, Hunter Cusano. 1st and 10 for the Warriors.
So the Warriors will get first down and 10 yards to go with good field position from the 45-yard line, their own 45. Zach Winchell with a touchdown and an interception in the early going, passing for the Warriors. Empty backfield once again. Diamond formation on the far side with 4 receivers. The southpaw will look to throw, flush to his left, throws, and Isaiah Harris in and out of his hands. Dropped. So it'll be 2nd down and 10.
For number 11, Isaiah Harris, incomplete.
The Warriors setting up. 4 receivers to the far side once again. Winchell out of the shotgun will roll to his right this time. Lofts one in there, and it's complete. First down yardage out of bounds at the Royals' 43-yard line.
Brian Bisbee on the reception.
Brian Bisbee on the catch for the Warriors.
By number 6, Brant Simmons.
Edgewood moves the chains. They have it first down and 10. Winchell this time rolls left. Now he's being pressured. Looks, checks, and throws incomplete in the turf. Intended for number 6, Christian Curry. Winchell will live to pass again on another play. The Royals defense had that covered, and rather than try and force it in there, Zach Winchell just threw it right into the turf. They'll set up 2nd down and 10. This time Bisbee sets up behind his quarterback. 6:46 to go first quarter. Bisbee flushes out right now this time. Winchell has it complete over the middle. First down. It looks like that was Jacob Bell on the reception. Nice pickup on that play. So Edgewood again with another first down. Line of scrimmage, the 27-yard line, and now it's going to move up even further as the Royals jump. The referees march off a quick 5 yards. It'll be first down and 5 yards to go from the Royals' 22-yard line. Edgewood driving again, looking for more points. Game tied at 7 apiece. Bisbee on the handoff. Looks right side. Nice run. Picks up a couple of yards. It was 1st and 5, so officially actually about a 1-yard gain. David Lewis in there on the tackle, but it will be 2nd and short, officially 2nd down and 4 yards to go. Warriors going relatively fast. Winchell fakes, flushes left, looking, throws, and that one is short. Intended again for Christian Curry. That looked exactly like the play just a few moments ago, earlier on this drive. So it's 3rd down now.
Royal fans, it's 3rd down.
But the ball spotted at the 22-yard line. Big play here for both teams here early going in the first quarter. Royals fans trying to make noise and distract the Edgewood offense. Zach Winchell will roll to his left-hand side again. Now he's going to roll back to his right. He's got pressure from all ends, and he is gathered and taken down for a big loss.
On the sack for the Royals, number 75, Brandon Riley.
Brandon Riley got in there and made the tackle in the backfield for the sack for CVCA. It's a huge loss, taking Edgewood out of field goal range all the way back to the 32-yard line. So it'll be 4th down and 15 yards to go, and the Warriors are almost in no man's land. Too close to punt, too far for a field goal, but they've got a gunslinger at quarterback, so Zach Winchell will see what he can do to try and keep this drive alive. Empty backfield, 2 receivers near side, 2 up top. Winchell will roll to his right. Looking, throws toward the end zone, and it is knocked down. Incomplete. And the Royals will take over as they hold. 1st down and 10. Eli Dykandrew out there on coverage for CVCA. A huge stop.
Royals ball.
That is the first time the Warriors have blinked tonight. The Royals with a couple of big mistakes. Not recovering the initial onside kick, fumbling a ball into the end zone for a touchback, and a couple of penalties. So far, Edgewood had been playing clean football, but that sack followed by the incomplete pass on 4th down gives the Royals an opportunity. Michael Bevington back on at quarterback, 1st down and 10 from the 32-yard line, and Bevington looks to throw. He looks to throw long. He's got a man out there, and it is incomplete. David Lewis, the long threat for CVCA, was roaming out there, and he was open, but could not range under that ball at about the 35-yard line. So it's 2nd down and 10. The Royals moving left to right in their home black tops, black jerseys, black helmets. Blue numerals. Kyle Snyder's blue numeral number 3 all the way out to the 49-yard line. A pickup of 17 yards for Snyder, and the Royals will go fast. Flag down, however, and they get the Royals for a false start. Likely that not everyone was set when that ball was snapped, so the Royals will have 5 yards marched off against them. Royals marching in the first quarter toward the east end zone. Edgewood defending that end zone. They've got their white jerseys, gray bottoms, and the Cardinal helmets. We'll call it scarlet officially, I believe, is the Edgewood color. Scarlet and gray, like a certain team down in Columbus. So apologies to the Edgewood fans that are watching. This time Bevington will keep left side across the 50 and taken down at the 47-yard line. Bevington picks up 8 yards on that carry. It's 2nd down. We'll call it 6 yards to go for CVCA as they've entered into Edgewood territory once again. The Royals skill players looking toward the sideline as the Royals offense and coaches, offensive coaches that is, signaling the play. This time Kyle Snyder is off to Bevington's right, but Bevington lunges forward, picks up another 8 yards. Enough for a 1st down. The chains move. J.J. Johnson was in there on the tackle for the Warriors. 1st down and 10. Officially the 40-yard line is the line of scrimmage for Edgewood. Or of Edgewood for CVCA. Bevington has Snyder offset to his left. Couple of receivers near side. Fakes to Snyder. Drops back. Looks. Now he's going to keep it. Across the 40, he's got room. 30, 25, cutting back, 20, Still going down to the 18-yard line. Michael Bevington picks up 22 more yards.
On the run for the Royals, number 11, Michael Bevington. Brought down by number 11, Isaiah Harris.
First down and 10, CVCA officially the 19-yard line. Bevington looks to hand off to Kyle Snyder, but we've got more flags, and this time it's going to go against Edgewood. Encroachment is the signal from the far side judge. They'll march off 5 yards against the Warriors. CVCA will have it first down, 5 yards to go from the 14-yard line. Trips far side, single receiver near side. Snyder offset, actually right behind Bevington, and he'll get it. Snyder burrows across the 10. He's close to the 5, just shy, perhaps the 6-yard line. As that was first down and 5, he's got enough for first and goal. The referee says wind that clock, and the Royals will go quick. Snyder gets it again, across the 5, into the end zone. Not quite, down on the 1-foot line. And an Edgewood Warrior saved a touchdown, but is down on the play. So we have a stoppage with 1:59 to go here in the first quarter. Score tied 7 apiece, but the Royals knocking on the door. Trying to get a number. Looks like the injured Edgewood Warriors, number 50, Nick Wyman. First on the scene is CVCA trainer Leanne Tebow. And the Edgewood staff is out there to check on Wyman, a 6'1" freshman, defensive lineman. 200 pounds as a freshman. That's a future long-term contributor if he's already starting for the Edgewood Warriors. He'll have a body to grow into. He's already 6'1". We hope for the best for him right now, though, as he's still down. So as we wait, the Royals gather on their own 20-yard line, and Wyman is up and able to walk off under his own power, getting a nice round of applause from fans from both sides. And the Royals have had time to talk it over about what they're going to run on second down and goal from the 1-yard line, or just inside the 1-yard line. The Warriors return to the field. Do they have a goal line stand in them? CVCA, tight formation. Snyder offset to the right-hand side. Now, Bevington goes out. Direct snap to Snyder, right up the middle. He's into the end zone. Touchdown! Kyle Snyder puts the Royals on top. For Kyle Snyder, that's his 14th rushing touchdown of the season, his 15th overall. And the Royals take the lead with 1:48 to go here in the first quarter. Bryce Keitlinger puts a foot into it and splits the uprights once again. The kick is good, and the Royals are on top for the first time tonight. After they stop Edgewood on downs deep in their own territory, the Royals put together a 68-yard drive that's capped off by a direct snap to Kyle Snyder. and they lead it for the first time tonight, 14-7. $14 more leg kicks for the Royals cheerleaders. They have been very busy the last month. So far, that makes it 21 tonight on Kick Cam. My trusty sidekick, speaking of kicks, Chad Dar, keeping track. And the coverage to you coming to you because of the great work of the team behind myself here. Chad Dar, week in, week out on the audio and engineering. Zach Nichols back on camera this week after the MediaNet folks were with us last week. Dave Petno with the drone coverage that you saw pregame. And, of course, the generosity of Friends of Royals Football to help bring everything to you. Keitlinger out there with the ball on the 40-yard line, was ready to kick the ball away, but the ball blew over on the tee. Short sleeve weather on a beautiful Saturday night in October. Keitlinger steps up, and it's a bouncing kick that bounces all the way back to the 5-yard line, where it's retrieved by the Edgewood return man, and the Royals get down there on coverage. 21 for Edgewood on that return. That's Brian Bisbee. Joey Lehner got down there first. And the Royals, who are so accustomed to onside kicking, this time squib it deep and push Edgewood back all the way to their 14-yard line. So the Warriors have a long field in front of them as they trail for the first time tonight here at Royals Stadium. The junior Jack Winchell back out. Bisbee sets up behind him. Bisbee at the 4-yard line. And again, they send him wide. Winchell will look to throw, looking toward Bisbee. He's got him at the 10, complete across the 15-yard line. A short pickup, maybe 3 yards. Check that, give him 4. So it's 2nd down and 6. Clock winds down toward a minute to go here. Minute 15 in the first quarter. This time Bisbee in motion toward the near side of the stadium. Winchell looking far side. He's got plenty of time. Throws. It's tipped up, and it is looking for a signal. I think it was incomplete. Isaiah Harris was the intended receiver. Bryce Keitlinger was in there on coverage. So quickly it's 3rd down after the incomplete pass with 59 seconds to go in the first quarter. 3rd down, 6 yards to go. It's a socially distanced crowd, but it's a noisy crowd for CVCA. Winchell will look to throw again, flushed left. Rolling, looking, lost, and it is incomplete. That ball was behind the intended receiver, number 21, Harris. Check that, Brian Bisbee, number 21. He had set down there. He probably would have had 1st down yardage, but Winchell's pass was just behind him. It's 4th down. Winchell stays out there, but he is also the punter. Not quite back in punting formation. The Royals playing it safe. It would be a surprising development if the Edgewood Warriors went for it here on 4th and 6. And Winchell does put a boot into it. That ball is out of bounds. And we'll wait for the spot. Oh my goodness, the referee, the side judge, starts at the 44-yard line and only walks up to the 42. Now he continues He's got to make up his mind where he wants to go. Still marching. And decides the 31-yard line is going to be where they spot that ball. At first, I thought it would be a bad spot for CVCA, and frankly, from this view, I think the Royals got a break as the side judge continued to walk forward. From my naked eye, probably about the 38-yard line is where that ball went out of bounds, but the Royals will take it first down and 10 from the 31. And unabated to the quarterback is likely going to be the call here as two Edgewood Warrior defensive linemen jumped into the backfield to introduce themselves to Michael Bevington and Kyle Snyder. That will cost the Warriors 5 yards. It'll be first down and 5 from the 26-yard line of the Warriors. Bevington on the hard count, and he gets another penalty against Edgewood, and 2 quick penalties gives the Royals a first down.
First and 10 for the Royals.
First down and 10 from the 21-yard line. Edgewood jumps a third straight play. 5 more yards against the Warriors. As an underdog, it's the last thing you can do is self-inflicted penalties. 3 straight encroachment penalties for the Warriors, making it easy for the Royals to march down the field without even snapping the ball. This time it's first and 5 from the 16-yard line. So Bevington surveys the defensive formation. Kyle Snyder shifts to his left. Bevington will keep it and go up the middle. He rolls forward to the 5-yard line. So 1 play after the punt and the 3 penalties. The Royals have it. First down and goal to go from the Edgewood Warriors 5-yard line. Bevington has Snyder to his left, hands it to Kyle Snyder, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, CVCA. Kyle Snyder with a 5-yard rushing touchdown, and the Royals doing what a favorite is supposed to do, taking advantage of mistakes and imposing their will on the ground as Snyder's into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the first quarter. 32 seconds to go, and Bryce Keitlinger is out once again. Joey Lehner puts the ball down, and Keitlinger splits the uprights. 32 seconds to go, and the Royals add another score. Late first quarter action. CVCA 21 and Edgewood 7. The referees with a conference going on, and it appeared to me that the kick was good. They have not yet put an extra point on the scoreboard. I'm not sure if that was inadvertent or if we actually have a missed extra point there. Meanwhile, the Royals will head out to kickoff once again. 3 quick touchdowns in the first quarter after Edgewood had scored first in the first 90 seconds of the game. And we have been corrected. That extra point was no good. So the score is 20-7. CVCA will kick off. Keitlinger bounces it very high. It bounces on the ground, and the Royals have it. And they cannot advance it, but a perfect bounce. And CVCA gets an onside kick recovery. The Royals work on that special teams every single week. and they recover their 6th onside kick of the season. Brant Simmons, Johnny on the spot there to recover the onside kick for CVCA. They'll spot it 1st down and 10 from the 38-yard line. We say it every week, the Royals invoke a strategy to try and steal possessions. The more they can have, the more chances they have to score, and the fewer chances the defense or the opponent has to march down the field on them. So Bevington will throw, first time. He's got a man open deep. Doesn't see him, though. He's going to tuck it and run, and Bevington across the 35-yard line to the 34. If he had seen him, it looked like he may have had, I think it was Ty Bova, perhaps, running deep in the secondary. It was Bova in the high pink socks for October Breast Cancer Awareness Month. He'll have to wait to see if he can make a catch in the second quarter because the clock is run out on the first quarter. A great first quarter for CVCA. At the end of one, the Royals lead it 20-7. First quarter is in the books from Royal Stadium. CVCA got behind early, but they have responded. One of the themes of Royals teams year in and year out is Royals respond, and they have done just that. As we have a break in the action, we'll talk about last week's results in the Pac-7 here at CVCA. The Royals won big against rival Manchester 48-7. The Blue Cup was awarded to Fairless this year, or won by Fairless, who beat Tuslaw 41-12 in that long-standing rivalry. Triveway upended Orville 13-6, and Northwest stayed undefeated with a 41-20 victory on the road at Loudonville. At halftime, we'll try and get some out-of-town scores for you from Division 4, Region 13. We'll see if we can rely on some of our Twitter helpers to try and get you some of those games. In those games, Woodridge, 17, is playing at Girard, the 16 seed. Minerva is at Lisbon Beaver. Orange at Lake Catholic. Actually, that game is not being played due to a corona issue. We'll get to the rest of the games in a moment. Meanwhile, the second quarter starts. Bevington is going to keep it. Michael Bevington's across the 30, still going inside the 20-yard line and down to the 18-yard line, a pickup of 17 yards. First down and 10 for CVCA back in the red zone. We mentioned Orange and Lake Catholic. There was a case of coronavirus at Lake Catholic within the last week, and Orange decided to opt out of that game rather than play that game, so Lake Catholic will advance. Struthers is playing Salem tonight. Elsewhere in Region 13, Hawken at Chagrin Falls, Gilmore at Liverpool, and the ball's on the ground. It looks like the Royals jump back on top of it as a poor exchange on a handoff. Kyle Snyder made sure the Royals did not lose possession. The final game in Region 13 being played tonight is Villa Angela St. Joseph, who was originally supposed to be the opening night game for CVCA, on the road against Fairless, who was the opening night game for the Royals. So VASJ and Fairless in action. Second down and 13. Bevington is going to be in big trouble. Intercepted, and on the other way is Edgewood's number 13, Donovan Siseki. Edgewood again doing what they do best, turning over the opponent, their second takeaway of the night. Michael Bevington, and the Royals' opportunity goes awry. And so Edgewood turns away CVCA early here in the second quarter. So the Royals now -1 in the turnover game tonight. Edgewood with a fumble recovery and an interception. CVCA with one interception of their own. So Edgewood now with a chance. Winchell rolls to his left. Throws. And it's dropped. That would have been a first down. It looks like that may have been Harris, the intended receiver. Actually, Brian Bisbee, number 21. So second down and 10. Trips far side, single receiver near side. Jacob Bell in motion. Winchell rolls, left throws again, and this time it's complete. Almost the same play. First down. Pick up of 15 yards to the Royals' 45-yard line. Bisbee, the recipient of that pass. It was the same play. This time, complete. They move it back to the 46-yard line, so a 14-yard gain. First down and 10, Edgewood. Zach Winchell will check to the sideline. Shouts some instructions to the near side to his receivers. He sends Bisbee to the far side, and it looks like a early start. It will be. Long shot. And it's incomplete. Tons of flags down, though. Isaiah Harris was the intended receiver. He is the long threat. That was an odd play from the get-go. They allowed it to go, and they call illegal man in motion against Edgewood. It may have been illegal men in motion because it looked like the entire line went before the ball was snapped. Surprisingly, instead of calling a false start, they allowed the play to play out. So they march 5 yards off against the Warriors. It's first down and 15 yards to go. Winchell dances, looks, and it's incomplete. Zach Winchell tried to drop that in to Christian Cunningham, number 17. Bryce Keitlinger was in there on the defense for the Royals. That sets up second down and 15 yards to go from the Warriors' own 49-yard line. This time Winchell goes to his left, and it's complete. First down yardage, or close to it. Actually, it'll be just shy of the first down. Down to the 39-yard line. Bisbee again out of the end zone, out of the backfield rather, on the reception. Officially a pickup of 11 yards, so it's third down and 4 yards to go. Line of scrimmage, the 39-yard line. Winchell has Bisbee coming toward him, and he dumps it to actually number 11. That's Harris. Harris will have enough for the first down, and then he is repelled by a pair of Royals.
Isaiah Harris on the catch.
In on the tackle, Matthew Reitinger and Bryce Keitlinger.
First and 10 for the Warriors.
But the Warriors move the chains. They've got a drive going. Trying to capitalize on that interception. 32-yard line of CVCA is the line of scrimmage. Royals leading 20-7 here in the second quarter. Empty backfield, Zach Winchell undoubtedly will throw it again. Rolls to his left, looking. Now passes, got a man wide open, complete. Inside the 20-yard line, down close to the 15-yard line.
Bisbee on the reception.
Bisbee again with another catch.
Brought down by number 16, junior Brennan Daw.
Another first down for the Edgewood Warriors with a good-looking drive going here in the second quarter. And a bad snap. Winchell has to fall on it all the way back at the 32-yard line. Nick Barger is the center for the Edgewood Warriors, and he'll want to have that snap back. The 6'1", 220-pound freshman rolled that ball right past his quarterback, and it's a big, big loss. All the way back to the 28-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 23 yards to go. 2nd and 23. The Warriors need to reach the 5-yard line for a first down. End around, and the Royals are there to stop it after a short gain. Isaiah Harris on the carry, a rare rushing play for the Warriors. Matt Reidinger again on the tackle for CVCA, going sideline to sideline.
Royal fans, it's 3rd down.
And that promising Edgewood drive now hinges on this 3rd down and 20 play. Call it officially 3rd down and 19. Line of scrimmage is the Royals' 25-yard line. The Warriors not in any hurry. And the play clock runs down. They're going to talk it over. It's a big moment in this ball game for the Warriors, who got out on top early first with that 7-0 lead. And then 3 straight Royals touchdowns before Michael Bevington was picked off.
East Steels Corner Road in Snow, Ohio. Thank you, McDonald's, for your support of the Royals.
Donovan Sisicki with the interception that started this drive. The Edgewood Warriors with a handful of first downs, 2 or 3 of them on this drive, all the way down to the Royals' 15-yard line before a poor snap moved them back, and now they face a 3rd down and 19 yards to go from the 25-yard line. The Warriors trying to hang in there with CVCA here. The Royals, the 13 seed in Division 4, Region 13. Edgewood playing in their first state playoff game since 2012, the 20 seed out of 24. So John Butchko and the Warriors have talked it over. They send a pair of receivers to each side. Bisbee in motion to the left side now. Winchell, another poor snap, will be flushed left. He's looking, and he looks like he's across the line of scrimmage on that pass play. He was. Lost track of where the line of scrimmage was. Flag is down. It's going to be an illegal forward pass. The play was a completed pass. I believe it was well short of the first down, so the Royals have a decision to make. It'll be 4th down if they allow the play to go forward, or they can take the penalty and push them back.
Flag on the play is a legal forward pass.
And they will march off the yardage. The referee is with a conference. I believe an illegal forward pass may also be a loss of down, but they have not indicated that it is 4th down yet. Here comes another referee into the conversation. Perhaps they are pulling out the Ohio High School rules book. Both teams are waiting. When play does resume, it'll either be 3rd down and 25 or 4th down and 25. And they do agree that it is a loss of down, so it's 4th down and 25.
On the play brings up 4th down.
So another pivotal play for the Edgewood Warriors, who are trying to stay close to CVCA here tonight. Clock winds down to 7 minutes and below here in the second quarter. They need to make it down to the 5-yard line for a first down. Winchell drops back, looks, and throws across the middle, and it's actually dropped. Almost intercepted, but actually a better result for the Royals. The incomplete pass will bring the ball all the way back out to the 30-yard line. The Royals once again hold on defense. Kyle Snyder on the pass breakup ranging back on coverage from his linebacker position, making it difficult for junior quarterback Zach Winchell to find someone open, and he had to sling it in there to try and get enough yards for the first down. It did not happen, so the Royals, Michael Bevington, and the offense will march back out onto the field. 1st and 10 CVCA, 30-yard line. Snyder gets the handoff up the middle, and Snyder's on his way. 30, 40, 45, carrying a host of Edgewood Warriors across midfield. It took about a half dozen Warriors to take him down. 22 yards on the pickup.
Kyle Snyder. That's good for Royals. First down.
Kyle Snyder, 5'11", 210, one of the strongest Royals on the team in the weight room. He carries tacklers every single week and is rarely taken down by the first contact. There he goes again, another 9 yards for Kyle Snyder.
Sophomore Kyle Snyder on the carry for the Royals, brought down by 22, Zeke Lucas.
2nd down and 1 yard to go for CVCA this time. It has not been a perfect game for the Royals, but they are leading by 2 scores. Fake to Snyder. Bevington with it. Bevington into the secondary, all the way down to the 20-yard line. And inside the 20 to the 19-yard line, 20 more yards on the ground for Michael Bevington. So we're saying it's not been a perfect game, or perfect first half of the Royals, a pair of turnovers, some penalties, but they are in position to extend the lead if they can get into the end zone here again. Kyle Snyder will get it, 15, and down to about the 13-yard line, another 7 yards.
Sophomore Kyle Snyder on the carry for the Royals, brought down by number 12, Santos Cabria.
The Royals trying to impose their will with the offensive line. Bevington will keep it this time. He's inside the 10, and he breaks to the outside, over a defender, and into the end zone. Touchdown, CVCA. Christian Curry was the last hope for the Edgewood Warriors to try and stop that, but Michael Bevington is not going to be stopped when he sees that blue end zone in front of him. Another Royals touchdown for Bevington, his 2nd of the night, and the Royals extend the lead to 26-7. We'll try and pay closer attention this time, as Bryce Keitlinger is 2 for 3 on extra points so far this evening. Keitlinger is 30 for 36 on the season. Most of those misses in the first 2 weeks of the season. Snap is down. This kick is up. And this one's good. So 5 minutes, 26 seconds to go in the half, and the Royals now lead it 27-7. CVCA with 4 more first half touchdowns tonight, and the half is far from over with 5 minutes and 26 seconds to go. Edgewood now with an uphill climb in front of them, trailing by 20 points. Again, we want to thank McDonald's in Stowe for their sponsorship of the Royals Power Meal program, the Week 7 sponsor this year. McDonald's in Stowe is a multi-year supporter of the CVCA Royals football program. A shout out to them, and head on down there. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, whenever you're hungry, say I'm loving it. Head on down to McDonald's in Stowe. So the Royals set to kick off once again. They recovered an onside kick that bounced high in the air last time. Keitlinger steps up to the ball. This one is squibbed, and it's going to be squibbed out of bounds. So a break for Edgewood as the ball goes out of bounds, and they'll get good field position as they start up their latest drive. Once again, we're thrilled that you're with us tonight watching Royals football on a Saturday night, a balmy Saturday evening. Summer-like weather. After last week, we had the winter coats out when Manchester was here. It's gone back and forth the last 4 weeks to cold weather, then warm, cold, and warm again. The winner of this game will advance to play Perry, the Pirates, up in Perry on the shores of Lake Erie in Lake County. Perry Pirates, the 4 seed. But right now, Edgewood, the 20 seed with the ball. Zach Winchell trying to find a man. He does complete first down yardage across midfield, and still going is the Edgewood receiver. A pickup of 16 yards to Isaiah Harris. So the Warriors moved that pocket. They gave their quarterback some time to find an open man, and Harris sprung open. They moved the chains. Winchell waits for the snap. Now he has it, rolls to his right this time. Passes, complete again, or is it? Incomplete. Brennan Darr on the pass breakup for CVCA. The junior captain for CVCA, making his presence known. And that precipitation that we thought we might escape looks like is rolling in. The fans scurrying for the umbrellas. Zach Winchell's not scurrying. He's waiting in the backfield, looking for an open man. Rolls to his left and lofts one across the middle. Incomplete once again. That ball was intended for number 27, Jacob Bell. So it's a light rain that has begun to fall here at CVCA just after 8 o'clock.
Royal fans, it's third.
Meanwhile, 3rd down and 10 yards to go for the Royals. Ball security even more important now for both teams, but right now for Edgewood and the Warriors, as that ball will get wet. Zach Winchell receives the snap, surveys the field, and he's going to be taken down. He'll get a yard gain, but Ben Andexler was in there and brought down the junior quarterback. No gain on the play, maybe half a yard. It's going to bring up 4th down. Down 20 points in Royals territory on the 44-yard line. The Warriors will go. Winchell surveys the field. Now sends Bisbee in motion. And he's going to quick kick it. Nobody back for CVCA, and that ball will go all the way into the end zone. So 44 yards on the quick kick punt, no return. But the touchback will bring the ball out to the 20, so a net of only 24 yards. The Royals will have it again, 1st down and 10 with 3 minutes and 39 seconds to go. Looking at the radar, it is the expected spotty showers that are coming in off of Lake Erie, and they've made their way to Cuyahoga Falls here. We'll see how long they stick around. Right now, we hope you stick around for this Royals drive. Michael Bevington on the hard count, and for the 4th time tonight, gets the Edgewood Warriors defensive line to jump off sides. It'll be a free 5 yards for CVCA, first down and 5. Bevington has trips far side, but he'll hand off to Kyle Snyder. And Snyder has first down yardage. And again, it takes more than one man to bring him down. Snyder's already out to the 36-yard line. 11 yards more on that carry. Bevington keeps it this time. Dips and slips across the 40 to the 43-yard line. 7 more yards for CVCA. Second down and 3.
Michael Bevington on the carry for the Royals, brought down by number 5, Cody Asok.
Quickly the Royals go, and first down yardage once again. Out near midfield are the CVCA Royals after that play. Kyle Snyder on the carry.
The Royals brought down by number 21, Brian Bisbee. Good for a Royals, first down.
First down and 10, CVCA. Bevington will pass, and he's got it complete across the 40 down to the 35. Eli Dykandrew on the catch that time, a pickup of 15 yards. The clock stops with 2 minutes and 41 seconds to go. This time Snyder gets it again. Snyder breaks out into the open, carrying defenders all the way down inside the 20-yard line. 16 more yards for CVCA, and another first down.
Good for another Royals, first down.
Bevington with another hard count. This time the Warriors more disciplined. He looks to the sideline. Now he gets the ball, looks to pass. Bevington throws toward the end zone. He's got a man open there. It's caught. Touchdown! Michael Bevington with a touchdown pass into the corner of the end zone. Looks like it might have been Brant Simmons if I get the number right. It's hard to see in the end zone. Check that. It's Eli Dykandrew, number 15. And the Royals strike again with just over 2 minutes to go here in the half. The PA team back in. Joey Lehner waits. High snap, but he gets it down. The kick is up. And the kick is good. Bryce Keitlinger with the extra point. 2 minutes and 1 second to go here in the half. The Royals now lead it 34-7. Now, as we look ahead to the half, we had a chance to hear from the CVCA Royals marching band. We'll get a chance to see the CVCA Royals cheerleaders. We'll hope to try and get some out-of-town scores from both Division 4, Region 13 playoff action, as well as from Pac-7 teams that are in action tonight. Loudonville has got a game on the road at Northmore High School. Triway is at Rossford. We mentioned before in Region 13, Fairless is hosting VASJ. The Orville Red Raiders are home against Fairview. Tuslaw is on the road at Sandy Valley. Manchester is on the road at Edison. And, of course, here, the Royals are hosting Edgewood tonight in the game you're watching. We'll take a look at Royals at the next level once again and the travails of Trey Tucker and the University of Cincinnati. And this day in Royals football. Another onside kick, and it's going to be recovered by CVCA. No flags. It was right near the 10-yard mark. The referees will talk it over. They have yet to signal, but they do spot the ball down on the 49-yard line, which is going to indicate, I believe, it is a legal touching officially against the Royals just prior to the 10-yard mark where it had to go, so Edgewood catches a break.
First and 10 for the Edgewood Warriors.
The Warriors will have it 1st and 10 on the 49-yard line of the Royals. Exactly 2 minutes to go here in the half. So we mentioned a halftime. We'll do the Royals at the next level segment and also talk about this day in Royals football. And we're on a Saturday, so it's a different year that we'll be looking at tonight. 3 years, in fact. The Warriors, Zach Winchell, tucks it and runs this time, and he picks up 7 hard-earned yards and pays the price out at the 42-yard line.
Zach Winchell on the run, brought down by number 73, junior Carter Parmenter.
Carter Parmenter in there on the tackle, and he laid the wood. But Zach Winchell is a tough quarterback. Gets right back up. Clock runs. Under a minute and a half to go in the half. The Warriors do have 1 timeout remaining. The Royals still have 3. Winchell will pass, drops, looks, dumps off on the far side. The Royals are ready for it. In fact, it's a loss of 3 yards. Minute to go.
Christian Curry on the reception for the Warriors. Forced out of bounds by number 18, senior Bryce Keitlinger.
Christian Curry caught that ball for Edgewood. Bryce Keitlinger was in there to make sure he didn't go anywhere with it.
It's 3rd down.
In fact, he was knocked out of bounds, so the clock did stop. 1 minute and 6 seconds to go here in the half. 3rd down. Seven yards to go. Winchell rolls to his right. The southpaw throws. It's complete, but short of the 1st down. Kyle Snyder made sure it didn't go any further. The catch made by number 22. Check that, 27, Jacob Bell. So it's 4th down, and 5, will make it 4 yards to go, and a whistle. Timeout on the field. 58 seconds to go. The Royals call their first timeout. The night started out so well for the Edgewood Warriors, recovering an onside kick on the opening kickoff, marching right down the field, putting 7 points on the board on that first drive. But since then, while they have forced 2 turnovers, the Royals have put up 5 touchdowns of their own and lead this one 34-7. As both teams talk over the strategy on this 4th down and 4 play that will take place from the Royals' 43-yard line. Whistles blow, and they'll call the teams back onto the field.
Royal fans, it's 4th down.
4th down, 4 yards to go. Empty backfield for Zach Winchell. He's got 4 receivers, and he's got a false start. Number 11, Isaiah Harris. Too eager, forgot the snap count, and now it's going to be 4th down and 9. Harris hangs his head. The young junior is quite talented, but unfortunately cost his team 5 yards there, so they march it back to the 48-yard line. It's 4th down and 9 yards to go. Same formation. They're going to run a reverse. And they've got it. Actually, Winchell will keep it. They fake the reverse, throw deep, and it is complete. Nice play call by head coach John Butchko, faking the reverse. Lots of trickeration on that play. They get the first down. Isaiah Harris makes up for that false start and pulls in the first down reception. So the drive will continue for the Edgewood Warriors with 50 seconds to go. Winchell will drop again. Tries to find a man. He's being rushed toward the sideline, taken out of bounds, dumped it right before he got to the sideline. It certainly did not make it back to the line of scrimmage, although he was outside the tackle box. Ben Andexler was in there to chase him out of bounds. They will march the ball back up to the original line of scrimmage, so officially an incomplete pass. Smart play by the quarterback, the junior. .41 ticks of the clock remaining here in the second quarter. Empty backfield again. Zach Winchell waits. Quick pass, far side. It's going to lose yards, though. Knocked out of bounds, and the Royals will stop the clock. 36 seconds. Christian Curry, the reception. Bryce Keitlinger was in there to knock him out of bounds. Officially, they lost 4 yards in that play. 3rd down now and 14 yards to go. 34-yard line of CVCA is the line of scrimmage. Trips near side. Winchell will roll that direction. Looking, being chased. And from behind, he's brought down. A sack. Logan Scranton, the freshman, with the sack, the tackle for loss. Logan Scranton has been making it a difference. The last couple of weeks, he's got a couple of fumble recoveries. That time, he tracked down Zach Winchell. And the clock winds, and it will wind out on the first half. Actually, it will not. Timeout called by Edgewood with 4 seconds to go. So they will undoubtedly try and heave one into the end zone and get a Hail Mary. Only time for one play. It is 4th down, 17 yards to go when we do resume action. Head coach John Butchko not wanting to take that timeout that he had left in his pocket to the, we used to say the locker room, but there are no longer locker rooms here in 2020, to the end zone or wherever the Edgewood Warriors will talk it over at halftime. COVID protocols do not allow either team to head to the locker room any longer. Looks like the rain shower has stopped for the moment, which is a good sign for both teams and for those in attendance. Royal Stadium, a small venue, so the socially distanced CVCA crowd. Each player was allotted 2 tickets. Parents and loved ones making noise here on 4th down. 17 yards to go. Diamond formation to the far side for Zach Winchell. He drops back 3 steps, now steps up, tries to escape. He's being chased. He's across the line of scrimmage. Even if this is caught, it's not going to matter. And it is caught for a touchdown for Edgewood on the Hail Mary, but the flag is down. It's not going to count. Winchell was across the line of scrimmage. Despite the ricochet catch for the touchdown, it's going to be an illegal forward pass, and the half will end. The referee is conferencing, but they pick up the flag. It is a touchdown for Edgewood. The Warriors catch a huge break at the end of the half. Zach Winchell was absolutely across the line of scrimmage. There was no doubt about it from this vantage point, and yet the referees pick up the flag. We have the opportunity of a little bit of replay in the booth here. Obviously, we can't bring that replay to you, but we're going to look for it on the replay coming up. Meanwhile, in to kick the extra point is Nick Welty. Welty boots it up, and his kick is through the uprights, and it's good. So we go to the half with a score of CVCA 34 and Edgewood 14. We're watching the replay right now, and Winchell ranged to his left, and he was absolutely across the line of scrimmage. He launched that pass 2 yards beyond the line of scrimmage at the 35-yard line. So a huge break by Edgewood. The Warriors getting a benefit of a bad call by the referee. There was no doubt that the original referee had the call as the quarterback for Edgewood was across the line of scrimmage by 2 yards, and yet the touchdown stands, and Edgewood scored in the first minute and a half of the ball game, and they score again as the clock runs out on the first half, and we go to halftime. Officially the score, CVCA 34 and Edgewood 14. You've got to make your breaks in football games, and the Royals will have to make their breaks in the second half. So stay tuned. We're going to have some halftime activities for you here as soon as the field clears.
As we have seen, the opportunity to play sports can be taken away by the spread of COVID-19. So we ask that everyone tonight in the
we'll see if we have the Royals marching band make their way to the field.
Keep yourself and your family 6 feet apart from other families. Our ability to follow these guidelines will go a long way in determining
as they make the COVID-19 announcement asking fans to remain socially distanced. So an exciting first half as the Edgewood Warriors recovered an onside kick to start off the game and marched right down the field.
Please welcome tonight your CVCA varsity cheerleaders.
And scored right out of the gate to take a 7-0 lead. We'll recap the rest of the first half action after you get the opportunity to watch the Royals cheerleaders in action. The Royals cheerleaders.
CVCA varsity cheerleaders.
So we're talking about the first half as it played out with Edgewood marching down the field and scoring in the first 90 seconds of the game after recovering the onside kick. After that, the Royals got the ball and marched down the field themselves. Looked like they were going to go right into the end zone, but fumbled it into the end zone and had a touchback. And Edgewood was in business once again, but on the very next play, CVCA turned right back over with Eli Dicandrew with an interception. And shortly thereafter, the Royals put up their first points of the ball game, tying the score at 7-7. The Royals offense then got itself in gear. Michael Bevington with the first rushing score. Then Kyle Snyder had a 1-yard rush to make it 14-7. He wasn't done, though. He added another score from 5 yards out just before the end of the first quarter. Extra point was missed. It was 20-7 CVCA. In the second quarter, on the next drive, Michael Bevington again found the end zone, this time from 13 yards, as he bowled over an Edgewood Warriors defender, number 6, Christian Curry, if I recall correctly, from 13 yards out. That score made it 27-7 CVCA. After they got the ball back once more, Michael Bevington showed his passing touch with a nice touchdown pass into the corner of the end zone to Eli Dicandrew. The Royals were up 34-7. Edgewood had one chance left, a drive that looked like it was going to go nowhere. They called timeout with 4 seconds to go in the half, and with the benefit of a very bad referee call, Zach Winchell found a receiver in the corner of the end zone on a Hail Mary pass that was caught, despite the fact that Winchell was 2 yards past the line of scrimmage on the pass play. The referees did pick up the flag. The touchdown counted, and that's where we are at halftime with the score, CVCA 34 and Edgewood 14. We've got some out-of-town scores for you from the Ohio Division IV Region 13 playoff action tonight. So elsewhere besides this, Woodridge from Cuyahoga Falls, CVCA's neighbor, is on the road at Girard, and they are trailing at halftime 21-7. That's a 16-17 matchup, so two evenly matched teams, but Girard getting the better of it at home at halftime so far. Girard leading 21-7. The winner of that game gets to advance and play Northwest next week, the number 1 seed. In Lisbon, Beaver Local is all over Minerva, 39-7 at the half. Beaver Local is the 9 seed. Minerva is the 24 seed, so the weakest team seeded in Division IV Region 13, and the score is a bit lopsided in the half, or at the half, with Beaver Local a 32-point lead at halftime. We mentioned earlier briefly that Lake Catholic, the 12 seed, was scheduled to host Orange tonight, but there was an incident of coronavirus at Lake Catholic High School within the last week. There were some negotiations, and it looked like originally they may actually play that game this coming Tuesday. And then the Lake County Board of Health cleared the Lake Catholic team, so the game was rescheduled back to today, at which point the Orange school system decided they weren't going to make the trip. Out of an abundance of caution, they decided to opt out, and Lake Catholic automatically advanced. So Lake Catholic, by way of essentially a forfeit, will advance to play the 5th-seeded Canton South next week on Saturday night. We mentioned before that Beaver Local was up big. They will advance to play Shaw out of East Cleveland on the road next week. Shaw is the 8th seed if they hold on tonight. Last year's playoff opponent here at CVCA, the 15th seed, Salem, is hosting Struthers tonight, the 18th seed, and at halftime, Salem leads that game by a score of 34-13. A couple of teams from north of here, Chagrin Falls and Hawken, getting together. Chagrin Falls is the 10th seed, Hawken the 23rd seed, and as one would expect, Chagrin Falls Tigers are up big at halftime, 42-6 over the Hawken Hawks. 14th seed Liverpool is at home tonight, hosting 19th seed Gilmore, and the halftime score there has the home team on top by a score of 28-6. If Liverpool hangs on, they will face West Branch, the 3rd seed, next week. We skipped over Salem and Struthers. Salem up big. They would advance to play number 2, Poland Seminary. Chagrin Falls also up big over Hawken. They would advance if they hold on to play number 7 Field out of Mogador. And then in the shocker of the night, at least for the first half, down at Fairless, CVCA Pac-7 Fairless Falcon opponent is hosting VASJ winless Villa Angela St. Joseph, I might add, who is 0-6 coming into the game. However, at halftime, the score is VASJ 14, Fairless nothing. Fairless had a goose egg earlier this year against Manchester. Normally, they have a very high-powered offense, but they had a head-scratcher losing a 7-0 game against Manchester in the Panthers' first game earlier this year, and we'll have to see if Fairless can get it going in the second half. Right now, the Falcons in danger of being upset, trailing VASJ 14-0. The winner of that game will advance to play number 6 Youngstown Ursuline. And we mentioned before, the winner of this game tonight will head on up north to play Perry, the Panthers, next week. And if the Royals do hang on, it'll be the third straight year that CVCA and Perry, the Pirates, not the Panthers, the Perry Pirates, go head-to-head in OHSAA playoff action. We'll try and get you some Pac-7 playoff scores a little bit later in the broadcast tonight. We mentioned that Loudonville is on the road at Northmore. Triway is at Rossford. Fairview is on the road at Orville. Orville with a home game. Tuslaw on the road at Sandy Valley. Manchester visiting Edison. And, of course, here, CVCA hosting Edgewood. So now, with the halftime festivities continuing, we'll take a look at Royals at the next level. And, boy, we tried to get the video of this, but unfortunately could not get it. But, head on out to Twitter, head on out to Google. Check out what Trey Tucker, 2019 CVCA graduate, did last week in his game with the Cincinnati Bearcats. The Bearcats had a bye today after opening the season a perfect 3-0, and they moved up last week to number 11 in the national rankings and have their first road game next week, Saturday, against conference foe Tulsa. Last week, the Bearcats defeated South Florida at home, and Trey Tucker did what he did so many times and so many nights here at Royal Stadium. He took a kickoff and raced 97 yards untouched into the end zone to score his second collegiate touchdown, his second of the season. And when Trey Tucker gets going, no one is going to catch him. Tucker was the state champion in sprints, in multiple sprinting categories when he was here at CVCA multiple times. The kid, or the young man I should say, is probably the fastest man you're going to see on a football field. And no one from South Florida caught him last week. Tucker scored his second touchdown of the season on that 97-yard touchdown kickoff return. So, elsewhere, we've been following the travails of fellow 2019 graduate Josh Junko, who's a redshirt freshman walk-on for the Pittsburgh Panthers. And his Panthers dropped a heartbreaker last week, 30-29 against NC State. They did travel to Boston College earlier today, and we'll try and get a score update for you on that game today between the Pittsburgh Panthers and the Boston College Eagles. Next week, the Panthers are on the road again. This time, a tough game in front of them down in Miami against 7th-ranked Miami, the Hurricanes. So, again, if you've been following along with us throughout the season, you know that we've been doing This Day in Royals history. And on Friday nights, we've been looking at the 2009 and 2015 seasons. But with the game night here, a Saturday this week, and for the rest of the season in the playoffs, as far as we should continue if the Royals continue to win, we get to look at a different couple of seasons. So the Royals have played 3 games historically on October the 10th. The first one was in 2003, and the Royals were riding high, starting the season with a perfect 7-0 record, averaging 37 points a game, Chad Dar, and they headed into a road game that night against rival Manchester. And guess what? Like so many other nights at Manchester, the buzzsaw happened, and that 37 points a game average was squelched. It ended like so many other trips to Manchester as the undefeated season and high-powered offense came to a halt. Jim Francis' Panthers stifled CVCA, and the Royals fell by a score of 12-3. The Royals rebounded to win their final 2 regular season contests, and they did finish at 9-1 and qualified for the state playoffs. But October 10th, 2003 was the only blemish on what otherwise would have been a perfect regular season in 2003 for CVCA. Fast forward 5 years, and again the Royals were in action on Friday night, October 10th, 2008, and they were in the midst of another great season. That night they hosted a home game against Division II Timken, which was a Pac-7 conference opponent at the time, and the Royals won big, as they did every time they played Timken. The Royals are 10-0 all-time against Timken, won every single matchup, and they did that night in 2008 by a score of 55-20. The only regular season blemish in 2008 was a loss to Tuslaw, but the Royals again finished the regular season at 9-1 and won the Pac-7 championship and again qualified for the playoffs in a great run for Coach Ray Karosh's CVCA Royals. The Royals also played one more game on October 10th before tonight. It was in 2014 on this day in Royals history, and it was Coach Ray Karosh's 18th and final season as head coach. On that night, the Royals lost a road game at Triway 45-14. They did finish the season 2-8, but Karosh's career record at CVCA as the first and only one of 2 head coaches in CVCA history was 107 wins and 77 losses. Head coach Karosha had 6 playoff appearances during his 18 seasons on the sidelines for CVCA and 4 conference championships. Certainly, Coach Karosha built this program and to this day still contributes as an assistant coach under head coach Dan Larlam. Took a couple years off and has come back. And CVCA football and head coach Ray Karosha go hand in hand. And we thank him for all of his service for CVCA throughout the years on the football gridiron and as a teacher here at CVCA. We do have an update on that Pittsburgh Panthers score, and the Panthers went down to defeat today in overtime at Boston College by a score of 31-30. So the Pittsburgh Panthers with 2 consecutive 1-point losses after starting the season with a couple of wins. And ladies and gentlemen, the clock has wound down to 0. So halftime festivities are coming to a conclusion. Both teams stretching. They put an additional 3 minutes up on the clock, which means you're going to have to hear from me for 3 more minutes to ramble on as we get ready for second half action here from Royals Stadium. The Royals leading this one by a score of 34-14 in first round OHSAA playoff action play-in games. The winner advancing to face Perry next week on Saturday night. Again, it's a beautiful night for football. The refereeing crew meeting at the center of the field on the CV. With all due respect to our friends and fans from Edgewood, as we know that you're rooting on your team and they're trailing tonight, it'd be curious to be a fly on the virtual wall out there as you wonder if they're talking about that call at the end of the half, which did cost the Royals 7 points. And put 7 big points on the board for Edgewood at the end of the half. Edgewood kicked off to start the first half, so the Royals will be kicking off to start the second half. So not only did Edgewood get a touchdown to end the first half, but they're scheduled to get the ball to start the second half here. So if they can recover the kick and then move down the field, we'll have a ball game on our hands here with plenty of time left. And with Zach Winchell, as we have said many times, being one of the most prolific quarterbacks in the history of Ashtabula County, there's a long way to go in this ball game, and it's far from over. Meanwhile, Coach Dan Larlam and the CVCA Royals continue to stretch in the west end zone, and I'm sure his message at halftime was don't let up. Don't let up for a second, or as the case was at the end of the half, for 4 seconds, and don't leave it up to the officials. Take care of business, do your jobs, and get out of here with what you're looking for and what you came in here looking for, which is a victory. The Royals looking for their second ever playoff victory after starting out 0-7 in state playoffs. Last year they broke through here at home with a 40-8 victory in the first round when they were a 3 seed in Region 13 and qualified for the playoffs on the backs of their 7-3 regular season a year ago. The Royals with big wins, though, last year against opponents that were rated higher than them. Revere, their fantastic Ohio State commit, Ben Christman, went down to defeat here at Royal Stadium. That got the Royals big-time points in the point system and ultimately got them the 3 seed and the big victory that resulted in a home playoff game against Salem here a year ago. So the clock winds down again to 3-0, and we're just about ready for second half action. Before we get underway, we'd like to again remind you that live stream broadcast of Royals football is brought to you through the generosity of Friends of Royals Football, the new parent organization for CVCA's football program, parent, alumni, and friends. Friends is in the name, Friends of Royals Football. And we again want to thank McDonald's in Stowe for their support and multi-year sponsorship of Royals football. Get on down there. It's newly renovated about a year ago. Tell them you're loving it. I'm loving it. McDonald's open for breakfast, lunch, dinner, late night. McDonald's at 712 East Steeles Corner Road in Stowe. We're ready for second half action. Bryce Keitlinger and the Royals are out to kick it off. The Warriors are back deep to receive. Keitlinger with a choppy kick that bounces up, and it's recovered by Edgewood. Edgewood has a big return, and the return man, number 7, runs out of bounds inexplicably. Zach Winchell, the quarterback, had that recovery, returned it inside the 20-yard line. He had just 2 men to beat and still had Green in front of him. Nevertheless, Winchell and Edgewood were ready for that onside kick. A perfect bounce to Winchell, obviously in there on the hands team. And Edgewood, who scored to end the first half on the Hail Mary, is going to start the second half deep in Royals territory on the 21-yard line. Just what the doctor ordered if you're an Edgewood Warriors fan. Zach Winchell and his Warrior teammates with a great opportunity to start the second half. A new look and a handoff up the middle. Positive yardage. Looks like that was Bisbee on the carry, and it was. So the Royals having to stiffen here and try and hold off Edgewood, who has a great opportunity to draw a little bit closer. Trailing by 20 points, just underway in the second half, but Edgewood inside the red zone already. Pickup of 6 yards on first down. It's 2nd down and 4. This time, Winchell will roll to his right. Now he's being chased, and he lost the ball out of bounds. Incomplete. It's interesting to see how Coach John Butchko has his quarterback, Zach Winchell, roll out to both sides as a left-handed quarterback, southpaw. When you're rolling to your right, throwing across your body like that has got to be quite difficult. You think he'd be much more comfortable rolling to his left. But John Butchko has coached more football than I have broadcast, so we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. 3rd down and 4 yards to go, so a big play for both teams here. Early second half action. They'll hand it off again. Bisbee's got first down yardage. He runs inside the 10, inside the 5. Pickup of 12 yards. First down and goal for the Warriors.
Carried by number 21, Brian Bisbee. Brought down by number 4, freshman Joey Lehner.
Joey Lehner, the safety, stopped the touchdown that time as Brian Bisbee. We said he had 5 touchdowns in week 3 against Grand Valley. And Bisbee's going to get it again. He'll be stopped. And that time the Royals get a break because they had a man coming off the field who had not quite gotten off. too many men on the field, so it does go both ways. No call, however. No gain as well, so it's 2nd and goal from the 4. Winchell waits. He'll hand it to Bisbee again, and he's stuffed again. He might have gained a yard. Edgewood trying to commit to the run here in the second half. We didn't see much of that in the first half. Kyle Snyder in there to stop Brian Bisbee.
Royal fans, it's 3rd down.
3rd down, goal to go. Line of scrimmage still the 4-yard line. This time it's an empty backfield. Winchell takes the shotgun snap, rolls to his right, and he's going to try and tuck it and run himself. Will he get there? No, he will not. The Royals defense comes up to meet him. Winchell may have gained a couple of yards. Logan Scranton was there to stop Winchell. It's 4th down and goal. The depth perception is difficult from our vantage point, but they do not give Winchell any credit. So it's 4th and goal. Check that. They do give him 2 yards. 4th and goal from the 2. Bisbee lines up behind Winchell. Big play for both teams, especially for Edgewood. Now they send Bisbee off to the near side. Winchell will keep it himself, and he's stuffed. CVCA's defense stands tall and pushes back Zach Winchell on the QB draw. Brandon Riley steps into the hole that Zach Winchell tried to find, and he could not go any further. Riley, a big man, number 75. 5'9", but 250. And when he met Zach Winchell, Winchell was stopped in his tracks, and the Royals survive a huge opportunity from Edgewood. But now they're backed up against their own goal line in the shadow of their own goalpost. Bevington still out of the shotgun. He'll hand off to Kyle Snyder, and Snyder is out to about the 10-yard line. So the CVCA offensive line, again, owning the line of scrimmage. Snyder went left side that time, which is the side that has J.T. Nichols and David Glover on it. He picked up 6 yards on that play, so it's 2nd down and 4. Check that, it's 2nd and 6 after a 4-yard gain. Snyder again dances out across the 10, carrying defenders out across the 20. Huge run for Kyle Snyder.
Number 3, Kyle Snyder on the carry for the Royals. That's good for a Royals.
14 yards on the pickup, and the Royals get some breathing room out to the 20-yard line. CVCA sets up in a bunch formation. Snyder offset to the right. Bevington, he's going to take it himself, looking for blockers in a hole. There's not much there, but still he picks up 3 yards, maybe 4. The Royals' offensive line just pushing forward that time, right side. The side manned by Jack Bova and Tony Collins. Shout out to them. When it looked like there was nothing there, they moved that line 4 yards down the field, and quarterback Bevington just followed him. This time trips near side. Snyder offset to the left. Single receiver, top of the field. Snyder is going to get it. He's going to look up the middle. Not much there that time. And yet still he falls forward. Not much equals 5 yards. So it's 3rd down, 1 yard to go. Royals leading 34-14. Clock runs. Whereas the first half had a lot of passing. Edgewood ran the ball a lot on their first drive, and CVCA doing the same. The third quarter is running by quickly. Snyder on the 3rd and 1 play, up the middle, first down yardage. He picks up 8 more yards. It's a first down for the Royals out to the 37-yard line of the Warriors.
On the carry for the Royals. That's good for a Royals first down.
Check that, the 37-yard line of the Royals. The Royals starting this drive on their own 2-yard line. Still in their own territory, but they've moved out 35 yards so far. Picked up a couple of first downs. Nearing midway, third quarter. Ty Bova on the jet sweep. Bova has got some room in front of him across midfield. Ty Bova picks up 13 or 14 more yards, the freshman. Younger brother of right tackle Jack Bova. Ty Bova is going to be a good one for CVCA. He had a touchdown reception in his first ever varsity game, week 1 against Fairless. And there is an injured Edgewood Warrior on the far sideline, so we've got a stoppage. And it looks like that is Brian Bisbee. Bisbee from his linebacker position, but the number 1 option at running back for Edgewood is down on the far side. And our best wishes for Bisbee as he is on his back right near the sideline on the Royals' 47-yard line. They lift him up as he sits up. A good sign. And Bisbee is to his feet. He gets a fine round of applause from the fans on both sides. But Edgewood will have to play at least the next play or two without Bisbee. They do march the ball back 3 yards. Looks like Ty Bova stepped out of bounds at the 49-yard line, so officially a pickup of 11 yards for Bova on that end around. The referee signals the ball back in play, and the clock winds. Exactly 6 minutes to go, halfway through the third quarter, with the Royals leading 34-14. Bevington, another hard count. Kyle Snyder gets it. Snyder dances across the 40, 30. He's got open space in front of him. Down to the 20. Still going 10, 5. Touchdown! Kyle Snyder, 49 yards to the house. The Royals with a 98-yard touchdown drive after they stopped Zach Winchell and the Warriors on 4th and goal from the 2. And Kyle Snyder finishes it off with half the yards, 49 yards in one play, down the far sideline into the end zone to put the Royals up. The extra point is up. And it's good by Bryce Keitlinger. So with 5 minutes and 36 seconds to go in the third quarter, the Royals extend the lead to 41-14. Just as advertised, Snyder and Bevington. That's Kyle Snyder's third touchdown rush of the evening. And he now has 16 on the season. Michael Bevington, with a pair of rushing touchdowns himself, also with 16 rushing touchdowns. The Royals cheerleaders almost done with 41 kicks. And it is the 5th straight week that the Royals have put up 41 points or more on the scoreboard. And there's plenty of time left unofficially 143 leg kicks so far. The Royals cheerleaders might be the best in-shape cheerleaders in the Pac-7. The Royals setting records with offensive scoring this year, which is saying something considering Trey Tucker was here for 4 years. Here's the kickoff. Again, an onside kick that bounced up. Who's going to get it? There's a scramble on the ground. CVCA says they have it. And they do! For the second time tonight, the Royals come up with the onside kick. And we've got another injured Edgewood Warrior. We hate to see that. Again, the trainer's out. Looks like it's Donovan Saseki who had the interception earlier tonight, who is down on the field. Saseki, the sophomore, 5'11", 175. Helmet is off. We're getting another look at it here in the booth. We'll try and see what happened to the Edgewood sophomore. The ball bounced high, and Saseki was just leveled. He was in line to make the reception, but as he was waiting, the Royals kicking team came down there, and Saseki just got hit very hard. And we hope he will be okay. He is sitting up, and I think he just was not looking at the kicking team member coming at him. He was looking up at the ball, which was over his head, and unfortunately, he was cleared out. He is up to his feet now, and he's going to be able to walk off under his own power. We say it week in and week out that if you are watching CVCA for the first time as a visiting fan of our broadcast tonight, it is a strategy that the Royals use to onside kick almost every time. Not as an opportunity to rub or run up the score, but really just to steal possessions. Earlier in the season, the Royals recovered their first onside kick of the season at Northwest in a game where they needed to steal possessions. And it is a strategy that is not new this year. It's one that they've invoked for a number of years. Coach Dan Larlin believing in his defense, being able to hold from field position at midfield and trying to get his offense extra possessions to essentially win the ball game. And that's what they've done here. That ball is on the ground on an end around in the first play, but picked up and a big run for the Royals, but a flag down in the backfield, and that's going to come back as the play is going to go against CVCA. The call, rather, is going to go against CVCA. So that play was a little bit mixed up from the start. They'll march off the yardage against the Royals. Looks like it may have been a block in the back, and it's going to be a big penalty, 10 yards from the spot. So the line of scrimmage was the Edgewood 48-yard line. Now they'll move it all the way back to the CVCA 37-yard line. So it's going to be first down and 25 for the Royals. Trips near side. Bevington will look to throw. Now he's going to roll right, and he does throw it. It's complete near midfield, but another flag is down. And two more Edgewood Warriors are down. That was a high throw. It was called in by CVCA. It looked like number 6 for Edgewood Christian Curry came in to lay a hit on the CVCA defender, but there was some friendly fire that occurred right at midfield. And another stoppage for an injury to an Edgewood player. Meanwhile, there was a flag down in the backfield, and that is usually a holding call. So after the onside kick recovery, the Royals going the wrong direction. We did not get a number on the Edgewood player, but he is now up as well. And to his feet. It looks like that's number 12 for Edgewood, Santo Sanabria. He's a sophomore linebacker getting some time. He may have been in there for Bisbee, who I'm not sure has returned yet and was injured a few plays ago. Check that. Sanabria is a starter, so he'll saunter over to the sideline and hopefully recover. Meanwhile, the Royals had another 10 yards marched off. And this time they set the ball down on the 26-yard line. It's first down and 36. And on first and 36, you call Kyle Snyder. But not much there that time. Couple of yards, perhaps.
Kyle Snyder on the carry for the Royals, brought down by senior, number 27, Jacob Bell.
L.T. Newland, the public address announcer, calls out Bell, Jacob Bell, on the tackle for Edgewood. It was a gain of 1 yard, so it's second and 35. Bevington will roll to his right, looking for an open man, tosses, and it is intended for Ty Boba and caught.
Bevington pass complete.
All the way out to the 46-yard line of CVCA. Pickup of 19 yards on second and 35. And now the referee on the far side calls it incomplete. The referee who called it incomplete was a good 30 yards away. Royals fans, while they may be up big, are not happy after that touchdown at the end of the first half, which should not have been a touchdown, and a couple of questionable calls. Regardless, it's 41-14 Royals, and it's third down and 34. They have to get to the Edgewood 38-yard line to keep this drive going. Bevington will fake the handoff, looks to throw long. He's looking for a man out there, and it is caught! Complete! Inside the 10, 5, touchdown, Royals! Brennan Darr on the fly pattern. Not only did he get a first down, Darr's into the end zone for a touchdown. What do you call on third down and 35? You call Brennan Darr for 6. So Bryce Keitlinger is out again. Joey Lehner puts the ball down, and Keitlinger puts it through the uprights. 3 minutes, 39 seconds to go in the third quarter, and the Royals now lead it 48-14. 70 yards on the touchdown pass. Bevington's offensive line gave him all the time in the world, and Darr outran the coverage right into the end zone. For Brennan Darr, that is his 5th touchdown catch of the season. Prior to that, his long was 63 yards. He just extended that another 7 to make it 70 yards. And the Royals put an exclamation point on this third quarter, which is not done yet. Now leading this one 48-14. 48 more kicks by the Royals cheerleaders. And with the lead now 34 points, it will be a running clock from here on in unless Edgewood can pull back within a 30-point deficit or less. Keitlinger steps up and they squib it off an up man. It gets to the second level and covered on the 35-yard line by number 1, Matt Anick.
Keitlinger's kick recovered by number 1, senior Matt Anick.
So there's still some time to go. 15 minutes and 26 seconds to be exact in this one. But it's looking more and more like the Perry Pirates will be hosting the CVCA Royals next week in the 3rd stanza of the trilogy. The Pirates winning the first 2 and certainly will be favored regardless of who comes out of this game next week. Winchell lofts a pass up and it's out of bounds. Incomplete. Clock now runs and will continue to run, with the exception of injuries, changes of possession, or scores. Royals 48 and Edgewood 14. Winchell in the shotgun formation again. He's going to roll to his left this time. The southpaw looks, still looking, now being chased, throws, and it's complete, but it may be out of bounds. It is. So while it was caught by number 21, Brian Bisbee, who's back on the field, it's good to see him. It'll be an incomplete pass, and we've got a flag down in the backfield. The head referee gets the Warriors for a hold. And the Royals do accept the penalty, so they're going to march that ball backwards. They'll repeat second down, and they'll spot it on the 25-yard line. So second down and 20 yards to go officially. Winchell has Harris in motion, fakes to him, now dumps it off to Harris, and Harris is met right at the line of scrimmage. He may lose a couple yards. Officially no gain, so it's third down and 20.
That brings up third down.
Bisbee will line up behind his quarterback, Zach Winchell. Now he flushes out to the far side of the field. Winchell gets a low snap. Dumps it out to Bisbee. Bisbee's got 10 yards. Make it 11. It'll be fourth down and 9.
Brian Bisbee, brought down by number 21, senior David Lewis. That'll bring up fourth down for the Warriors.
The offense stays out on the field. They have quick kick to punt a couple of different times, but down big, the Warriors look to be going for it. And they'll go for it on fourth down and 4 as one of the Royals on the far side got anxious, and we've got an encroachment call. Watch the ball, you hear from the Royals coaching staff on the sideline. Unforced errors. So Edgewood now with a chance to convert. What was third and 20 is fourth down and 3. Again, they flush Bisbee out. Winchell dances, now flush to his left, under big pressure, throws, finds a man complete. It's enough for a first down across midfield to the Royals' 49-yard line. 27, Jacob Bell flashed open. Pickup of 9 yards. They needed 3, so the drive continues. After 3rd down and 20, nice job by the Edgewood Warriors to keep the drive going. They'll hand off. Short gain on that play as we wind down toward the end of the 3rd quarter. Brian Bisbee gets another carry.
Senior Brian Bisbee on the carry for the Warriors. Brought down by number 3, Kyle Snyder.
Kyle Snyder on the other side. From his linebacker spot. Holds Bisbee to a 2-yard gain. It's 2nd down and 8. And that's going to do it in the 3rd quarter. A big 3rd quarter for CVCA. A goal line stand, a 49-yard rush by Kyle Snyder, and a 70-yard bomb on 3rd down and 35 from Bevington to Brennan Darr. We head to the 4th quarter. The Royals lead big tonight. CVCA 48 and Edgewood 14. We're at the break between the 3rd and 4th quarters. My name is Tim Nichols, and again, we're pleased that you are with us tonight watching OHSAA Division 4 Region 13 first-round playoff action tonight. The Royals in command, leading this one 48-14 against the Edgewood Warriors. Again, a shout-out tonight to Friends of Royals Football for their generosity in helping make these broadcasts possible. Also a shout out to Zach Novak and MediaNet AV. We're thrilled to have Zach and his team here for what we call a true professional broadcast last week. We're doing the best we can with what we have available, which is Chad Darr to my right, Zach Nichols down below, and Dave Petno. As the 4th quarter begins, and Winchell was looking for Isaiah Harris. In and out of his hands, and Zach Winchell paid for that as he was brought to the ground in the backfield. An audible gasp by the Royals fans. But he's back up. Zach Winchell is a tough one.
Royal fans, it's 3rd down.
On the 3rd down play, the ball is complete, but it's on the ground. Royals recover. Isaiah Harris caught the pass, but he was separated from the football. Kyle Snyder comes up with it, and CVCA will take over. So another takeaway for CVCA, and I believe that evens up the turnovers at 2 apiece for both the Royals and the Warriors. So 1st down and 10 CVCA. And now Joey Lehner is in at quarterback. Lehner, the freshman, has seen sporadic action this year. He'll hand off to Clay Farley. Clay Farley with a big run. Across the 50, Clay Farley gets his first carry of the game.
On the carry for the
25 yards.
34, senior Clay Farley.
Clay Farley is a senior. Gets most of his action late in games or on the JV squad, but gets a carry there and a big carry. He'll get it again. A couple of yards that time.
Senior Clay Farley on the carry for the Royals. Brought down, but
Make it 4 yards for Clay Farley. 2nd down and 6. So Michael Bevington with another big night tonight. 2 rushing touchdowns and 2 more passing touchdowns. Handoff again goes to Farley. And Bevington will now be off to the film room to study film of those Perry Pirates. Farley picks up another 3 yards. 3rd down. 4 yards to go. Farley gets it again. He's got 1st down yardage. He's got more. Inside the 20, inside the 15-yard line.
Senior Clay Farley on the carry for the Royals. That's good for the Royals. 1st down.
Coming into this drive, Clay Farley had carried the ball 11 times for 19 yards this season, but he's getting all the carries, and that first carry was more yards than he'd picked up the entire season. We'll see if he can finish this drive off. He gets it again. Actually, Lehner will keep it, and he's pulled down in the backfield, maybe the line of scrimmage. Joey Lehner is the heir apparent to Michael Bevington. Lehner is one of 3 freshmen that are at the quarterback position for CVCA. He is first among the 3 on the depth chart. On 2nd and 11, Farley will get it. Farley's across the 10, 5, touchdown! Clay Farley. I believe that is Clay Farley's first varsity touchdown as a senior, and he'll remember that one the rest of his life. Clay Farley into the end zone for CVCA. The Royals up big, and Edgewood is going to go back to their regular season next week as the Royals running in second stringers. And a kicker. We'll call that Bryce Keitlinger. And Keitlinger boots another one through to make the score Royals 55 and Edgewood 14. We were saying that obviously Edgewood's season will continue and they've got things to play for. They've got a big rivalry game against Jefferson coming up in 2 weeks. That's a cup game, a game that's been played for many, many years. So there's things to look forward to if you are an Edgewood Warrior player or fan. But what a moment for Clay Farley. A kid who's put time into the program and gets rewarded in a playoff game with a touchdown. And again, I believe that's the first of his career. Meanwhile, 55 more leg kicks. And those cheerleaders are getting tired. $55 more. So we're getting close to record territory at this point. The Royals' all-time record for points in a game, I believe, is 63. If we looked up earlier this season, we could not find any other game beyond 63, which was set back in 2003. And this one is squibbed to the kick returners. Looks like Bisbee on the return. He's out across the 33. Christian Curry and Brian Bisbee were the 2 men that were back deep. Again, Royals record book, they put up 62 points this year, against Tuslaw. One off the record. And right now they are 8 points off the record, which was set in 2003. Edgewood doesn't want to hear about that record at all. They send their offense back out on the field to see if they can do something. Winchell will hand off. I think Brian Bisbee is in the middle of that pile.
Brian Bisbee on the carry for the Warriors, brought down by number 19, junior J.J. Boone.
And it looks like number 77, Aris Fox, is getting his first action of the season. Aris, a four-year player for CVCA, and he's been with the program since 7th grade. Fox battled back to get back on the field. Tonight, it's great to see him out there. Pass to the far side is complete from Winchell.
Winchell's pass complete to number 3, Caleb Holmes.
Caleb Holmes, the recipient of that pass play. First down and 10 for Edgewood as they move the ball out to the 46-yard line. Joey Lehner comes off the field. More backups getting in for CVCA. And another nice carry for the Edgewood running back. Brian Bisbee picks up 8 yards.
Brought down by number 9, Dylan Kowalski, and number 88, Peyton Grant.
Try and call out some of these Royals players that don't get in quite as often. Hayden Grant and Dylan Kowalski made that tackle, combining on it. Most of these players have a JV game against Woodridge on Monday afternoon. Another handoff, Bisbee across the 40. He's got enough for another first down. Clock winds down to 5 minutes to go. Kowalski and Luke Wiggers on the tackle that time, stopping Bisbee. Winchell will throw. Winchell has time. Rolls to his left, looks long, and he's got a man out there, complete for a touchdown. Looks like it's number 11, Isaiah Harris.
For the touchdown.
Touchdown for the Warriors. Winchell to Harris. Edgewood puts another 6 points up on the board. In to kick the extra point is Nick Welty. The holder is Tony Hall. Hall puts the ball down, and Welty puts a welt into it right through the uprights. It's good. So with 4 minutes and 35 seconds to go in the ball game, that makes the score Royals 55, Warriors 20. At halftime, we told you that Fairless was trailing 14-0 at the half. It looks like there's about 5 minutes and 22 seconds to go in the fourth quarter in Navarre, Ohio. And Fairless has just thrown an interception. VASJ is hanging on to a 21-17 lead. 5 minutes, 22 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. That would be a huge upset. No upset here tonight, though. The Royals, we said in the pregame, have been averaging 52 points a game in the last 4 weeks. The 4 games they've won on the 4-game winning streak. 55 more up on the board tonight. Onside kick is fielded by number 5 for CVCA. That's Gavin Johnson. Johnson, a freshman wide receiver and defensive back, has good hands. Made sure he covered that one and then got his head tucked down to make sure he didn't pay the price. So the Royals take over, first down and 10. Joey Lehner will likely head back out at quarterback. They'll spot the ball on the Royals' 44-yard line. CVCA will move to 5-2 on the season. Lehner's going to hand off. Clay Farley will get it again. And Clay Farley is going to get 5 more yards. So the second string offensive line getting some push.
Clay Farley on the carry for the Royals, brought down by number 21, Brian Bisbee.
So 2 years ago up in Perry, it was a back-and-forth game. Trey Tucker, we mentioned at halftime, doing these great things for the Cincinnati Bearcats now, did everything he could to keep the Royals in it. But Perry came away with the victory in a first-round game as Farley gets it again. Farley pushes forward another 6 or 7 yards. First down, Royals.
On the first down carry for the
Last year, the Pirates and Royals met in a second-round game, and while the Royals led briefly after Bevington threw a long touchdown pass in the first quarter on a very cold night with snow on the ground in November, after that it was all Perry. Jalen Anderson, their star running back, West Virginia commit, had his way, and if the Royals are going to have a chance next week, they're going to have to find a way to stop Jalen Anderson and the Perry Pirates. As if that weren't enough, Perry head coach Matt Rosati announced a couple days ago that this will be his last season as coach for the Pirates. Rosati's been at Perry for more than a decade, had great success, but as his children are getting to high school and college age, he's got a couple of sons who played with Perry over the last couple of years who are now playing college football. Rosati's going to retire after this season, and I'm sure the Pirates don't want to go out with a loss in the first round of the playoffs, their first game next week, but the Royals would love to make that happen. And the Royals' offense certainly is potent. The defense is going to have to find a way to stop Jalen Anderson next week. Clay Farley gets it again. He's across the 35 down to the 30, 28-yard line. Another first down for the Royals.
On the carry for the Royals, number 44, Clay Farley.
So that game will be next Saturday night at 7 o'clock up in Perry. That's Lake County Perry. Perry of the Chagrin Valley Conference. Not to be confused with Perry, I believe, of Stark County down here. Minute 18 as the clock winds. CVCA using all the play clock. Handing off to Clay Farley again. Farley into the secondary, down to the 15-yard line. He's got enough for another first down.
44, Clay Farley.
The Royals keeping it simple, just handing off up the middle. Farley lines up, and it looks like he lines up about 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Lehner under center, and the Royals about to go into victory formation tonight. A huge victory at home. Lehner kneels down with 33 seconds left. The clock winds. Lehner gets a hug. And they won't need to snap it again. It's all over but the final 14 seconds here at Royals Stadium. A huge, huge victory for CVCA, who will advance to play the Perry Pirates next week. The clock winds down to 3-0, and we've gone final. The final score tonight from Royals Stadium in Cuyahoga Falls. The CVCA Royals 55 and the Edgewood Warriors 21.
We'll see you all next weekend on the road for the second week of this Royals playoff run.
Both teams gathering near the center of the field, as is the tradition here at CVCA. While the teams can't directly interact, even though they've been banging heads for the last 48 minutes of playtime, the Royals will have an opportunity to talk a little bit about what makes CVCA a special place to their fellow competitors from Edgewood. Coach Dan Larlam, as we mentioned before, back in 1997, matched up against Coach John Butchko when Larlam was across the street at Walsh Jesuit. And Butchko was at Canton Central Catholic, and now Michael Bevington is addressing the Edgewood team, talking about the reason that this school ticks, which is a desire to educate and cultivate servants of Jesus Christ. Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy. And undoubtedly, Bevington is quoting his coach when he talks about Jesus Christ being the toughest man that ever lived, tougher than any football player ever was. And the fact that all of us lead imperfect lives, and only one man was perfect, and that was Jesus himself, the second man of the triune God, the Trinity, who went to a cross 2,000 years ago to pay a penalty for my sins and for the sins of everyone within earshot tonight that's listening to this broadcast. And through faith in Christ, you get a better gift than any playoff victory could ever be, and that's a gift of spending eternity in heaven with God the Father. So, both teams bow their heads in prayer now as they undoubtedly thank the Lord for the opportunity to play football tonight and have some fun on a football field. Two teams giving it their all. Only one team can win, but everyone can win when it comes to their eternal destiny. So, we wish the players from Edgewood and their fans and their coaches well as they continue their season next week and the next 3 weeks. But here at CVCA, football practice will continue, and the Perry Pirates are on the docket for next week. A huge night tonight. The second ever playoff victory for the Royals. Second ever home playoff victory. 55-21, the final score. The Royals actually trailed in this ball game as Edgewood came out with an opening kick, onside kick, and recovered and went right down the field and scored to take a 7-0 lead just 92 seconds into the ball game. But after that, Michael Bevington and Kyle Snyder got to work. Kyle Snyder with 2 first quarter rushing touchdowns. The first one from a yard out and the second one from 5 yards out. And then just before the end of the first quarter, Michael Bevington with a third CVCA score in the first quarter. A 13-yard rushing touchdown, and at the end of one, it was 20-7 CVCA. In the second quarter, Bevington found Eli Dykandrew in the corner of the end zone. Made it 34-7. And then at halftime, Edgewood got on the board with a gift, a Hail Mary with 4 seconds left. Quarterback Zach Winchell was across the line of scrimmage. Referees initially threw a flag for an illegal forward pass, but picked it up. It did not matter in the final outcome, however, so Winchell gets another touchdown pass to his credit as he will undoubtedly, if he stays healthy, break the record and become Ashtabula County's all-time greatest passer sometime next year during his senior season. He got a touchdown pass against the Royals there to end the first half on that Hail Mary. It was 34-14 at the half. The Royals, as they traditionally do, onside kick to start the second half, but Zach Winchell was ready for it and got a good bounce and returned the ball all the way down to the 21-yard line. It looked like he had more green in front of him, but he did run out of bounds at the 21. And that came back to bite him, or bite the Warriors, as they picked up a couple of first downs, but the Royals defense stood tall. And on fourth down and goal from the 2-yard line, they repelled Winchell back on a quarterback draw, and the Edgewood Warriors could not score. Then the Royals went on a 98-yard drive that was capped by a 49-yard rushing touchdown by Kyle Snyder for another score. After an onside kick recovery, the Royals had a host of penalties that pushed them back to a 3rd down and 35 from their own 30-yard line. And that's when Michael Bevington dialed up Brennan Darr, who caught a ball in stride and went 70 yards for a touchdown pass into the end zone to extend the Royals' lead. In the fourth quarter, with a running clock, the Royals' backups got into the game, and Joey Lehner and Clay Farley were the new backfield tandem, and Farley powered forward on a 20-yard touchdown rush, the senior picking up his first varsity touchdown. A great story for Clay Farley, who's put in a lot of time with the program, on the JV team, on the scout team, and all that time pays off tonight, and he picks up a touchdown, the last CVCA score of the night. The scoring was finished in the last moments of the game when Zach Winchell found Isaiah Harris for a touchdown pass to make the final score 55-21. So, a great night for CVCA football. They'll advance in Region 13, Division 4, as we take a look back at the Fairless game. Fairless has used its final timeout. There's 2 minutes and 58 seconds to go in the ball game, but they trail it now 28-17 against VASJ. The Vikings have scored again, and barring a miraculous comeback, the Fairless Falcons are going to bow out of the Division 4 Region 13 playoffs in a shocking upset to previously winless VASJ. So, that's going to about do it here from Royal Stadium tonight. The Royals victorious. And again, before we go, we want to say a huge thank you to Friends of Royals Football, the new parent and alumni and friends group that helps support Royals football in a number of ways. And of course, this year, if you've been watching along with us, one big way is to help us underwrite some of the costs of the live stream coverage here to get us on the air. And if you'd like to be involved in that, there's still more opportunity for you. You can go and check out the CVCA giving page, and if you are inclined to give, you can do so. And just make sure you put CVCA football live stream in your donation memo line. And we thank you for that. Thank you once again to McDonald's. McDonald's in Stowe on 712 East Steeles Corner Road. McDonald's right down the road from CVCA, one exit. I'm loving it. McDonald's sometimes sounds good. It sounds good right now. I'm sure it sounds good to a lot of these CVCA Royals players who convene there after many of the games, and I'm sure there'll be a bunch of them there tonight to celebrate this victory. So head on down to McDonald's in Stowe. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, late night, they're there. Great food, great atmosphere, great service. McDonald's, we thank them for their multi-year relationship and support of CVCA Royals football. And we thank you for watching tonight. There have literally been thousands of you who've tuned in this season, and stay tuned to the CVCA Twitter account, or the live stream rather, the CVCA live stream Twitter account at CVCA Livestream. And we'll try and bring you information about what the plans are for next week. We do not know at this moment whether or not we will be able to broadcast during the playoffs on the road. The OHSAA does have oversight of broadcasts and live streams during the playoff run. We do know that Perry has a very large press box, which is always good. But stay tuned. We'll let you know what the plans are. The Royals will be on the road for the remainder of the playoff run, however long it does go. So, for Chad Darr on my right-hand side tonight, doing all the technical and engineering work, for Zach Nichols on the camera, and for Dave Petno with the drone tonight, and for all those that make this possible, including Zach Novak and his team at MediaNet AV, we thank you for watching. Final score again tonight, Royals 55 and Edgewood, the Warriors, 21. So long, everybody.